day, everyone. This is Patrick from EasyFX Code Trading System, and it's Saturday, the 26th of June, 2021. And this is the weekly technical analysis for the Euro, the cable, and the Aussie dollar for the 5th week of June. Let's take a look at the Euro dollar. And after a significant fall the previous week due to the Federal Reserve statements and like monetary policy changes, the euro managed to bounce back up slightly for a pullback and a small retrace, and still constrained under the daily 200 EMA, but managed to spike through to hit the weekly pivot for last week, but has always closed below that, below the weekly pivot and the daily 200 EMA. So still struggling to stay above the 38 FIB retracement. Actually, it is the 62 FIB retracement of this move up. And there could be further either consolidation or some downside for next week, as the 118 now provides some support, as well as a major support here at the 38 FIB on the larger time frame. So this will be a very significant support level at 117.36. And this coming week, there's only some minor news from the Eurozone with some CPI flash estimates and the final manufacturing PMIs. But the key support levels will be 118 and then the 117.35, and that's from bigger time frame on monthly, going way back to the swing high of 2014 down to the swing low of 2016, and after testing the 50 FIB a couple of times, as dropped lower and perhaps trying to reach and target the 38 FIB retracement here. So that will be a critical level if the 118 is broken. All right, so the resistance above still at 120, and also the 50 FIB of this swing move up, 50 FIB retracement. That will be the key resistance levels here. So we could just also add the more level of resistance here, and that's at the 119.85. All right, but for now, the recent swing low at 118.50 area, that's going to provide some interim support. Let's make this 118.50. So there is some interim support level here. All right, let's also take a look at the DXY, US dollar index, and see whether that's also retracing and pulling back after the massive move up. and it has dipped below the 38 fib retracement, just below the daily 200 EMA, but after two moves down, it has managed to bounce back up on Wednesday and Friday. So it is attempting to climb back up above the daily 200 EMA, and it will need to recover that and attempt to target the next fib level at the 21 fib retracement. The immediate support is at the 50 fib area. That's around the 91.30. So it needs to recover, and that will also mean the euro may continue to turn bearish and resume its bearish momentum as the US dollar resumes its bullish momentum. All right, so we'll see what happens next week. Okay, if we go back to euro here, so for now that's the range for last week, and it needs to break out of this, either break out higher, or if it breaks down, we already know where to target. And also 119 is right close to the middle of the range. Okay, let's move on to the cable. And the cable had the Bank of England rate decisions and policy decisions last Thursday, but they didn't make any changes, and it was pretty anticlimactic. And this is the result on Thursday, where it started drifting lower back down to the weekly pivot and continued lower on Friday. So after finding and bouncing up from the 138 support level, it did shoot up to hit the 140 exactly on a Wednesday before pulling back slightly and still below the daily 55 EMA. So it was rejected following Thursday's bearish momentum, and looks like there could be further bearish move for at least the start of next week. And 138 is a key support level now. Let's change this also to support. All right, and this week there's also only minor news from the UK with the final manufacturing PMI. So this will be a critical support level for next week. 140 is definitely a clear resistance. So it's either going to consolidate for next week, or it could attempt to test the support, and if it breaks, then it could be further moves towards 137 with the daily 200 EMA coming up to where the 50 fib retracement level is as well, just below the 137. So it could either just be consolidating within this 200 pip range. If it attempts to break out, then it's more likely to break down rather than to break up higher, as 140 seems to be a very strong resistance level. Okay. And for this coming week as well, with only minor news for Europe and the UK, the US has the non-farm payroll report coming up on Friday. So that could be also a driver for the US dollar, and it could impact the euro and the cable and the sterling pairs. So we need to watch out for that as well. Let's move on to the Aussie dollar. There's no news for the Australian economy this week, no major news. And last week it pulled back higher and blocked by the 76.00 round figure level, and also climbed back up to the 786 retracement level from 0.75. So this swing low here will be support zone. Right, there could be further bearish momentum for this coming week, or it looks like it could be just consolidating as well, with resistance in this 76 area and the support just below 0.75. All right. Let's also take a look at the weekly time frame. And it was did not reach the weekly 55 EMA, but managed to bounce off. So that's going to be a key support level. So it might remain in this range and consolidate. Right, because this pullback was drifting higher throughout the week, and only on Friday they managed to hit some key resistance level, finally at the fib, whereas the euro and the cable climb up to reach the 55 EMA and dip back lower, whereas the euro was blocked by the daily 200 EMA. So for now, the Aussie has managed to climb back up above the daily 200 EMA. So we'll see if that's able to provide some support, and that could also help its support above the weekly 55 EMA, and that could mean further consolidation first. And it'll be exposed to the non-farm payroll report on Friday to see how and which direction it's going to move towards. All right. So do check out my other videos on spot gold and dollar yen, and have a safe week and have a good trading week, and cheers for now.